Introducing the Ferrari 488 GTB. Today's audio upgrade is going to be taking this car to a whole nother level.
Hi everybody, I'm Max. I'm going to be on this project with Luke. He's already been kind enough to remove the dash, so now, to take the mid-ranges out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the door card apart so we can get some sound deadening behind there. Also swap out our tweeters and our woofers. This door card comes apart in 3 stages, so you got to take the middle part off, or actually you got to take the handle off. Then you can get the middle part off, and then you can get the whole door card off. So let's get to it, and we'll see how we go. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the doors. We got the door cards removed, we got the looms removed, and we're lucky enough on these ones that we can put some, when the windows roll up, we can put some on the back panel, or the inner panel if you want. We can put some on the middle panel here. So I'm taking the looms off, and I'm going to put some flat sheets, cover as much area as I can, and then move on to the door cards and cover every single area that we can. So let's get to it.
Right, so as you can see, I've already made a start on just protecting this little bit of area here. I'll get some sheets down once I'm done talking to you guys. So basically the plan is I'm gonna have to try and take a mold, because if you can see all this curvature in here, it's not gonna let the amp sit nice and square. It's gonna be moving around quite a lot. So I'm gonna take a mold, just basically just using fiberglass filler, all that sort of messy stuff, and then that will have a nice then flat base for this to sit on, obviously on this side of the carpet, and then yeah, so I'll be able to do all my machine screws and everything. So this will be again just as solid as the sub. This will be sat there nice, because obviously it's a nice quick Ferrari, so I'm sure keeping within speed limits, he likes to have a bit of fun with it at the same time. So yeah, let's get cracking on with this and we'll move on to the next bits. Right, so now I've got this off, I'm going to obviously tidy it all up and just square it all off. This is going to get bonded here because, like I said before, there's fuel tanks and stuff behind here, so I can't put any screws, bolts, anything like that there. Otherwise I could potentially puncture the tank, which we don't want. So yeah, that's all going to get bonded there. And then there's going to be a plate over the top of this, just a MDF, like 6mm plate or 9mm plate. So there'll be the machine threaded inserts, which will then go into the wood, and then that will mean that the amp can come in and out as many times as you want, and it won't pull like any of the threads through or anything daft like that. So yeah, let's get this squared off. I also need to do a bit of soundproofing here, so I'm still waiting on a couple of things to print, so I'm going to get the soundproofing done now. And then once that's printed, I can start measuring up and know what I need to cut away and keep. Right, so we've got quite a lot of the car built back up now. So here obviously we've got the amp, we've got a set of fans, one pushing through, one pulling out. There's a channel going through here which just aids with cooling. just because it's going to be boxed in quite tightly with this cover piece now. So here it is. Obviously still needs a little bit more touching up to do just to make it nice and neat. And literally this, all it does is, if I just squeeze it down, it sits over this whole piece here and then sits in there like that. Now then bolts for the amp go all the way through, and then it pinches up against the board, which I've bonded to the back. So it just neatens up a little bit, makes it look a bit smarter, and covers any wiring and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, happy with how this is coming out at the minute. The sub, I will show you just in a second how we bolt it in. Remember, we've got 2 factory bolt holes here, so I'm utilizing them. Take the actual sub, the speaker itself out, bolt through, then I seal off them bolts as well, so there's no air leakage or anything silly like that. And then put the sub speaker back on again. And then this is the quick release plug. It's nice and easy. So that all just plugs in. And again, this is all quite hidden around here. So yeah, it's looking smart. I've also got the DRC mount somewhere. 2 seconds. Right, I'm back. Not quite Blue Peter, but this is the DRC mount. Now this is basically utilizing the cup holder towards the front of the center console. And basically the DRC will drop in here, nice tight fit, and then the wires coming up through here and plugging in, and then that then sits nice and neatly into there, so it's easy reach. Also looks quite OEM with the buttons you got for like the launch and the reverse. So yeah, everything's coming out pretty nicely. I'm looking forward to getting it tuned. Just got to sort these panels out because we're obviously putting a grill in, and yeah, we're just cracking on. So let's show you how this sub goes in.
There we have it, guys. Another Ferrari 488 GTB completed by our team. So this spec has been really nice. We do so many different variants on sound upgrades on these types of vehicles, something that suits practically every budget. However, on these vehicles, as you've seen in today's video, it is incredibly involved. The way we work when we do an upgrade on cars like this is we have to remove the entirety of the dashboard, and the main reason for that is to access correctly the mid-range location that sits on top of the dashboard. We do options if you have the basic hi-fi system, which basically means you don't have a mid-range there from stock. We can upgrade just the tweeter and mid-bass driver, add a small amplifier, and it will sound better. However, what our client was after was one step above that, wanted to add that mid-range into that factory location, add the rear locations as well as adding in a designated sub. For those of you Ferrari owners who aren't aware of what is actually in this car from stock, what we have is, so you've got 2 different options that Ferrari actually offer as a solution. One is the basic setup, which basically all that you get in that car is a tweeter and mid-bass driver in the bottom of the door. And then what you get is, when you upgrade to like the JBL system, you add a mid-range in, you get the rear speakers, still no designated sub. What we've now done on the vehicle is completed the full spectrum of sound. So you need a tweeter, a mid-range, a mid-bass and a sub to complete the full spectrum of sound for audio system to perform. What we've then done is added in that mid-range, replaced the tweeter, replaced the mid-bass driver, but added in rear speakers as well. The amplifier we're using on this system is the Audison Forza 12-channel amplifier. Obviously on these cars we are very restricted on space, so we do a couple of different options, and you probably would have seen some of our other Ferrari videos where we built custom enclosures that sit all the way around that back shelf area. What that basically means and allows us to be able to do is hide amplification into that position. What we can do, and what we've done on this one, is a slightly more cost-effective way of doing it, but still sounding really good. what we've done is added in the Audison Prima 8-inch active sub. We've got the Audison Forza 12 channel in a custom little box that we 3D printed and finished off that sits really nicely behind there. What we've also done and managed to do is retain full space behind the driver's seat, so that driver's seat has no restriction at all. The passenger seat is one click away on this design. We've actually gone slightly off center to allow for the driver's seat to be able to move all the way back, but the passenger seat, we've lost one click. Still very comfortable, even for me to sit inside this vehicle. It's still very comfortable, well, as comfortable as carbon seats will be in a Ferrari, but that's still, for me, to sit in that car is absolutely fine. So this solution is really nice because we're not having to do any fabrication work on this, which keeps costs down, but also still, in terms of adding that designated sub into the vehicle, still makes a huge difference. The amplifier also allows us to control the system via a DSP, so we can correct all of the issues that are coming out of the factory unit, factory Bluetooth stage, which is how we're going to be playing music through. But we've also added in Apple CarPlay and Android Auto completely wirelessly through the factory display, which is really cool as well. This adds loads more functionality, especially when you're going to be driving and enjoying some music, plus you get all your maps and everything like Waze all in the car as well, rather than a silly little phone holder on the dash. So, I mean, overall, a really stunning setup, but you guys are now going to be about to listen to the final results of the system with me. We're going to sit down, we're going to go through, I'm going to set up a new microphone setup, we're going to listen to the car, and you guys are going to absolutely love this one, I'm sure. So let's jump into the listening part. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where you guys are going to be able to listen to the final results of the Ferrari 488 GTB Cambridge Car Audio Experience. This spec is really nice, exactly what our client was after, fitted within exact budget of what he was after as well, and it sounds incredible in here. We've listened to the car in terms of the tuning stage, and now it is a chance for you guys to enjoy it with me. So you guys are going to be listening through this microphone setup here. So at this point in the video, you need to make sure you guys have got a really decent pair of headphones, home hi-fi system, car hi-fi system, to really kind of be able to hear every aspect of this new system. But I'm going to play a couple of tracks for you. Hopefully you guys are going to absolutely love this. It sounds absolutely mega in here, so here we go.
No quiero nada, solo tú en mi habitación. No quiero nada, ya no quiero esta relación, ni romperte el corazón, refrescame la mente para recordarte, bebé.
Just say a prayer for my city. Just say a prayer for my city. Believe in God to kneel down with me. Say a prayer for my city.
In my head, oh, once invited, I get excited, but nobody knows me. In my head, you're on the outside, I'm better when I shine, the crystals inside me. In my head, in my head, you're on the outside, I'm better when I shine.
You could say anything, but it could mean everything, 'cause you said it to the right person and they needed the compliment. But it's in a second and you can say you're in love with them, but it won't mean anything at all. But that's not your fault. Life's funny like that, you Promise one thing, get another one back. You thought you knew, but it wasn't a fact. Known them your whole life, but it was all an act. There's no meaning, but like in the best of ways, you could go 100 days without really doing anything and still have the right to say, I'm so incredible, oh yeah, I'm lovable. Cause it's not enough performance, no. There's nothing that you hold, I'm so feel no need to explain. I'll say it all again. Now you don't have to show them anything.
Honestly, absolutely bonkers in here. Yeah, I mean, for the difference, for those of you who've never owned one of these cars or listened to one of these cars, they sound absolutely shocking from stock. To where we are now is absolute night and day difference. Over the moon with the work that the team have done, and everyone's come together really nicely on this project to get this car to where we are right now and ready for our client. So yet another Ferrari completed by the Cambridge Car Audio team. I'll see you on the next one.